𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗂𝗺𝗃 brothers and sisters. Where have I been? Okay. So, depressive ruts. How did I get there? How I got out? What I learned from it? And what I'll implement. What happened inside my rut? Well, tell you the truth, I've been in a depressive rut. Now, I'm not going to say I had depression when I wasn't diagnosed with anything, but I think I had a bit of an episode. Had a lot of symptoms, I was in a rut. I went back to a lot of my old self who did a lot of the bad habits, I'm sure some of you have related to me, right? You keep falling and falling, like you get inspired for like a week or so and then keep falling. I think that's because my self-image and self-respect was at a pretty low point. I mean, even when I was making videos then, like, I feel pathetic being the self-improvement YouTuber, but I have to be vulnerable with you guys. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm this perfect guy when I'm not. I literally gave up. When people say never give up, I gave up. I gave up on myself. But you know what? I mean, I never really gave up. Because here I am. I'm back. I'm out. But still, I sort of gave up on myself. And I did irreparable damage. But it's something I can move on from. You know what they say? They say that scars, these are scars. Permanent scars, but they never get smaller, right? But what does it feel like? You grow past them, you grow bigger than them, right? All the mistakes I've made in the past, everything I hated myself for in the past, I don't care about. Because I've grown too big to ever care about them ever again. And really is, for the lack of self-respect, I have this, I'll show you, non-negotiable. Ooh. I have a habit tracker. Look at this. This is when I was in the rut. I think 4 days. Alright. 4 days I was in the rut. I was actually trying not to get in there. But I know that's just an excuse. Because I still got in the rut. I tried to do deep work, but in the end, it just felt too hard. And I gave up. I gave up because I just felt like I didn't want it bad enough. I was conflicting with my own emotions. I was conflicting with my identity. Because I always keep saying, I want this so bad. Like everyone says, you have to want it bad enough. You have to go all in. And I believe that. I believe that I was the person who was all in. I believed I was the person who had a strong purpose. And when I wasn't consistent with my habits, it just felt so demoralizing. I just felt so hard to keep up. I didn't even know myself anymore. But honestly, I think I just set my expectations too high. My self-image wasn't developed. It wasn't developed enough for me to be doing everything I put myself in the list to do. My sleep also played a major part in that. Like, I had really bad sleep the day I fell in the rut. I think that's a part of it. Look, I also have my priority list and my I am list. I added a little bit today, but yeah. I just don't think my self-image was developed enough for me to be doing all that. And that's why I fell. I fell and fell and fell. And it just keeps going down, the negativity. When you do a mistake, I read this book, Compound Effect. It ripples. Whenever you make a positive change, it ripples positively. But whenever you make a negative change, you're more likely to make another negative decision. And that's what happens in a rut. You just keep going down. What happened in my rut though? Damn. All the bad habits. Video games. No, I didn't really play video games much. That's honestly because I was so addicted to video games in the past that it was so damn boring. Like, not even the stimulating nature of video games could make me want to play it. So, hey, to give you an understanding, I was addicted to video games for 18 hours a day when I wasn't on self-improvement. This was like almost 2 years ago. 18 hours a day. Alright? This is on the holidays. You're like, how can you play 18 hours a day at school? But yeah, I was just that addicted that when I did start self-improvement, it was pretty easy for me to quit because I literally did not want to play at all. Like, it was, but yeah. I watched a lot of YouTube videos because I never really saw the point in scrolling. Like, even in a rut, I couldn't scroll. Cause how can I just scroll? I don't really have much logic behind that, but now I just watch YouTube videos. At first I was watching music videos. I listen to a lot of music. Actually. I think, this leads into my next point, but I think music is what got me out of the rut. Well, I got myself out of the rut, but the music got me out of the rut. I've actually experienced a lot of these episodes this year. I feel like definitely in the past I didn't experience these ruts, but this year has been tough. Actually, I've gone through a lot of betrayals. I've gone through a heartbreak. I've gone to many different scenarios. It's definitely harder than the previous years of my life. I've had to live by myself as well. Just to put this into perspective, I'm 15. I had to live by myself for over a month. I had to do all the cleaning, cooking, studying, like everything. I had to take care of everything in the house on top of self-improvement and also my hobbies. I think that I also had a few ruts during that time. Yes, I did take a lot of responsibility, but I'm not sure if I was ready to take that responsibility. But yeah, I think the reason why I go into those ruts is because my self-image wasn't developed enough. Yeah, I used to have this identity where I used to call myself the immortal flame. I was kind of inspired by 𝗔𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗶, my favorite group, my favorite K-pop group. It's a musical artist. K-pop is Korean pop. I actually love Korean culture. Like, the reason why it's called 𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗂𝗿 is because I grew up with K-pop and Korean culture. But yeah, immortal flame is basically like, you know how flames rise up? When there's wind and rain, flames still rise. They grow bigger and bigger and bigger. That's like me. The person, look, I wrote today in my self-image. The undying flame, which can always rise, no matter how many times he fails, because of his self-belief. The flame burns up all the ice surrounding him. The ice is the failure. I'm getting very abstract with this, but flames always rise no matter what, right? Like, it's called immortal flame for a reason. And inspired by the song 𝗧𝗵𝘂𝗶𝗴𝗶. Search it up. Yeah, I used to have an identity of being an immortal flame. I used to be very perseverant. Like, I failed thousands and thousands of thousands and thousands and thousands of times on this one thing, but I still kept going, despite how I felt. I think my love for 𝗔𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗶 was actually a very big part in that. Even though I know it's pretty delulu to stand a K-pop group now. I don't do it anymore, but I used to back then. Like, I have a bunch of merch, like, sitting in my room. Just I locked it away, but yeah, I used to be a very big fan. By the way, this video is not going to be like heavily edited. It's just going to be like me talking. You don't need to watch if you don't want to, but this is just where I've been. And if anyone can relate to me, then it's fine. I should have said that at the start of the video, but yeah. I got out yesterday. Yesterday in the afternoon, I got out. Music played a bit of part in it. This is group. I really love them right now because I've mainly been watching them this past, like, just watching their videos. QWER. It's a Korean idol band, and I think their story really resonated with me. All their members really inspired me. Now I'm not gonna say like they're the main reason I got out of the rut, because I'm the main reason. But they were kind of like the spark. Ever since I heard their story, I wanted to get out. But seriously, I was having a mental breakdown. I was on the verge of having a mental breakdown. Every like few hours, it was so painful in my head from all that dopamine and doing all the bad habits, like my identity conflicting like this. Like, and I was unhygienic as hell. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Because it's the truth. I didn't shower, I didn't brush my teeth. Call me disgusting, but it's the truth. This is exactly what happens when you're in a rut. I lived pretty much exactly like a 𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗴𝗶. Japanese term for like social recluse. Someone who's extremely isolated. Someone who stays in his room all day. Like a shut-in. And I didn't go outside at all. Like, the food I ate, I barely ate any food. Like, I was literally starving to death. I lost 1 kilogram in the span of 4 days. I never really had a proper meal. All I ate was snacks and junk food. Very, very different from what I usually eat on my diet. Well, I don't have a diet, but if you consider it, diet is just what you eat. So what I eat, usually, 𝗪𝗻, which is a type of intermittent fasting. 23 hours of the day you're fasting, and 1 hour of the day you get to eat. And also only processed foods. And pretty much a very heavily focused diet on protein. And also I'm switching to keto as well. So I'm not gonna have any carbs in my diet. That's basically the diet that I ate. And also, I'm not sure. I'm pretty much have clear skin for some reason. Even though I ate like a whole bunch of chocolate. There was so much sugar in it. But like, I'm pretty sure it's because I don't touch my face. It's like the caveman routine. But I'll make another video on that. Pretty far in the future, but I'll make a video on acne if you want. But yeah, damn, I really starved myself in. Yeah, but that was basically the conditions I was in. Oh, I forgot to mention I really messed up my sleep. I slept at probably like 3 every day. And woke up at like 8. So on most days I got like 4 hours of sleep, which is really bad. Yesterday when I got out of rut, I was doing cleaning. It took me like 2 hours to do cleaning. When I usually take 1 hour, I was like when I was vacuuming the floor, legit, I had to take deep breaths, because I was like hyperventilating or something. But yeah, so their story really inspired me. Now I'm not gonna really get into their story, but basically, they were like otakus. They were like, there's this one girl, she was a 𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗴𝗶, playing games inside all day. And how they joined the band, they were recruited by Mr. Kim Egg, a really famous Korean YouTuber. But yeah, they were recruited by him. Basically, they worked really hard, and now they're very successful. Like, I was watching their story, and they were practicing for like 12 hours a day. Legit, they were practicing. And this one girl, she was practicing all the way into like 2 a.m. or something. It's a bit random. Maybe you don't want to hear this, but hey, if you're this far in the video, you're probably gonna be watching, right? But I'm not gonna really expect anyone to be watching this far in the video. But this is just my story. This is just my story. I really got inspired by their story, because honestly, they were people who wanted to pursue their dreams but couldn't. And when they took the opportunity to pursue their dreams, They took it and went all in. Mr. 𝗏𝗃, bro. Mr. 𝗏𝗃. He went all in on making his K-pop band dream a reality. And he did. They're ranking really good on the Mellow charts, which is like the Korean music charts. They won many awards. They went to the Mama. If you know K-pop, then you know what I'm talking about. But seriously, they worked hard for it. And it felt real because it's not like other K-pop agencies. They worked hard for it, man. I'm not saying other K-pop idols don't work hard for their dreams, but their story really inspired me. Honestly. I got out. I was like on the verge collapsing. I was playing like depressing songs and like I said, you know, I'm gonna play Harmony of the Stars. The last episode, Harmony from Discord, on their documentary. I'm gonna play it, and after they finished, they all started crying because they made their debut, right? I would cry as well. I was like, and I cried because I was really inspired. I really wanted to create something beautiful I can show to the world. I think that's like the main part of my dream. I want to help people, but also I think the dreams of artists, one of the main dreams of us artists is to create something beautiful that will really live on. Like Spirited Away with 𝗧𝗵𝘂𝗺𝗏. One Summer's Day. Imagine being 𝗧𝗵𝘂𝗺𝗏. That's just beautiful. Imagine being the creator of that. I think being a creator is such a beautiful thing. And I wanted to create something beautiful just like them. I got out. I listened to One Summer's Day featuring Ayaka Hirahara. So she was singing, and it was like the 25th anniversary concert for One Summer's Day. But yeah, that song, if you heard One Summer's Day, you know what I'm talking about. I cry the second I hear that song. It made me think of the life I want to live, and the life that I'm living right now. I do regret. Made me think about my dreams and aspirations, my loved ones, right? My future wife. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get married or not, but I'll probably have kids. So I thought about that a lot, but I mainly focused on myself. I'm not gonna cry in this video. But yeah, I had a really strong reason. I do have a very strong reason. That's what I've realized now. Otherwise, there would be no way I would have been gone. There would have been no way you would be seeing me in this video right now if I didn't have a strong enough reason. I probably would have deleted the channel. I probably would have actually been depressed. Actually gotten depressed. But I didn't. And I'm not saying depressed people don't have a strong reason. This is not for all types, because I've been researching, taking this mental health course by Dr. K from 𝗷𝗵𝗂𝗵𝗂𝗺. He's like the largest mental health YouTuber right now. But yeah, I've been taking his course. I bought all the modules. Well, because of my friend, I wanted to get educated. Because she's dealing with mental health. Now it's private. And also I'm dealing with mental health struggles as well. Like, I'm not gonna really say much, but my family, I'm dealing with my family. My family is a struggle, right? Self-improvement is a struggle. But relationships are a struggle. So my mental health has been through a lot. But mainly for my friend. Yeah, I've been learning. And I reached the conclusion that I probably had congruent depression. Not during my rut. I probably had an episode of that. But probably 2 years ago, I probably had that, to be honest. It isn't clinical. It's not something that can be treated with medication. It's based on your life circumstances, described by an existential dread, a lack of meaning in life. People who are congruently depressed don't have much meaning in life, and I think that's what I was before. The rut I was in, that was my old self. Not as bad, but that was basically my old self. No, my old self was definitely worse than what I had in my rut. But yeah, I really got inspired. And yeah, I got out. I'm not gonna make any promises, because I know talking the talk is not worth it. You have to walk the walk. That's more badass. You know how people say it's a mistake to talk about your plans? It actually is. Whenever I talked about my plans to other people, I've always failed my words, because it puts an unnecessary pressure on you. It just gives you validation for something you haven't done yet. So we all know it feels good to talk about our plans, but I'm not really gonna promote it. Hey, shout out to QWER. Shout out to 𝗔𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗶, 𝗔𝗂𝗱, Magenta, Hina, and Sion. My bias is Hina, by the way. I'm not deleted though. But yeah. What have I learned? I've been talking about my self-image a lot. I've learned that I really need to work on my self-image. Also, to respect yourself, you work on it little by little. Okay. I'm not gonna say I was egotistical, talking about the type that was condescending and thinking he was better than everybody else, because that's not who I was. But egotistical in the sense that I thought that I could do everything. I thought I was all in. I genuinely think that being all in is a good thing. Like, I genuinely thought. had to be all in. And what it meant was that I had to do everything, like I said. But I realized that my self-image wasn't strong enough to be able to support all that. Even if I wanted to do all that, it just wasn't strong enough. Every time I have a rut, it's foolish. It's honestly foolish. But only a fool trips on something that's behind him. And that's what I've been doing all this time. Even though I know it all too well. That I should just let go of mistakes. Letting one event color my day. It's crazy foolish. Even though I know it, I still fell into the rut. It's pathetic. And I did give up for a bit. Gave up on myself and my friends. I was talking to my friends. I just feel so pathetic, man. How I was apologizing for being pathetic, but doing nothing about it. I was apologizing for not being able to be there for them mentally, even though I was doing nothing about it. 𝗔𝗂𝗱𝗶𝗴𝗶, bro. 𝗔𝗂𝗱𝗁, bro. 𝗔𝗂𝗱𝗁. What will I implement? Now, I'll implement my self-image. That's probably the most important. I watched this video from 𝗧𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗴. Shout out to 𝗧𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗴. He's like one of my favorite self-improvement YouTubers. But here, 𝗔𝗂𝗱𝗏 is a strong person. He has the strength to support his friends whenever they need. He has the strength to push through hard work and be consistent because he wants himself and others to be fulfilled. He has an undying flame within him, which grows stronger with every failure because of his self-belief. He holds immense respect for himself and is able to keep his word at all times. He is driven by a purposeful life of helping others through art. He is focused on having successful days because he cherishes every moment and knows that tomorrow isn't guaranteed. He values his time and only value whom he himself respects at the table, his 𝗔𝗂𝗰𝗂𝗔𝗂𝗋. 𝗔𝗂𝗰 meaning like friend for life. It's someone who I'd die for. So all my friends right now are 𝗔𝗂𝗰s. Hey friends, hey 𝗔𝗂𝗰s. He goes all in on everything he's committed to because he understands that life is short and doesn't want to regret it. He values delayed gratification because he knows that it's true happiness and fulfillment. He only accepts the best version as his worst because he knows that it's the greatest to grow in pain. Now, I just said that my self-image wasn't strong enough. But honestly speaking, the way that I need to make it strong enough is to be the best version at all times, is to go all in. It's a whole relationship cycle. I didn't go all in. I wasn't serious enough at the start. So that's why my self-image started failing. But if I say something and I take immediate action, that's literally becoming who I am. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm bold. But no. Seriously, I became bold to start this new arc of my life. But I don't think I'll cut my hair anymore. Seriously, because I think it's a waste of time. Like, think about it. It takes almost an hour to cut my hair. It takes more than an hour to cut my hair bald. But yeah, that's the video. That's where I've been. Okay. Shout out to myself. Shout out to QWER. Shout out to... Biggest shout out to my friends. And if you watch this video to the end, then comment shout out to all the homies. Comment shout out to all the homies. But yeah, I'll make another video today, but I just want to tell you where I've been. 𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗂𝗿𝗶𝗴. Peace.